My name's Jonathan Whitaker. I'm the managing editor of the Merced County Times newspaper. I've been doing it for about 16 years now.
My name is Brittany Miller. I've been working for the Merced County Times for a year.
So I'm Chloe. I've been here for 10 years this year, which is a long time.
My name is Kelly Thomas. I've been at the Times for 29 years.
Hey, my name is Andrew Hardy, and I've been at the Merced County Times for almost 2.5 years now, and it's been a wonderful experience.
My name's Eddie Moreno. I've been here for 18 years.
Hi, I'm Haley Felicion. I am the sales manager over at Mid Valley Publications and co-creator of our news project, Local. I have been here for about 4 years.
My name's John Miller. I've been here for about 15 years or so.
People come up to me all the time and they say, how many people work there? This is a great community paper. And I laugh because we're such a small crew that it really is a weekly miracle. And I know we say that, but it is so true how we get this newspaper out every week. And I have to say, every one of us, and there's not many, we all do 4 or 5 different jobs.
My position is all over the place. I started as an inserter, but I saw an ad in the Delhi Express, and I decided to come work here because I did not like working at an office. So from there, I went up to pressman number 1, press foreman. Now I'm doing a little bit of HR, and now I'm vice president of the company.
I'm the bookkeeper. I write stories. I take photos, do inserting. I originally got hired in 1995 as the darkroom tech.
During the day, I work in our Merced office, where I'm responsible for putting out the paper every Thursday. I also take paperwork for when people need to post classifieds or business names, which is a big part of the newspaper that I think gets overlooked.
I started in 2014 making ads. I would come in a couple days a week for a couple hours and make a bunch of ads and do some layout stuff. And then I kind of stopped, and then I came back. So now I'm doing a lot more stuff. I'm still making ads. I'm also doing more layout stuff. I do the fun and games page. I do the comics. That's me.
Working here, it's really cool. Like, it's really flexible. The mom and pop feel makes it feel like a little family almost. You communicate with everyone, talk with everyone here. So that's a really good experience.
I initially got started as a photographer. My first assignment was on Veterans Day of 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. I did that for a bit as an internship. Eventually, after meeting with John Whitaker and John Derby at the time, they expressed that there was a need to have me write as well. And so we worked that into part of my responsibilities, and eventually that became my first paid position as a reporter for the County Times. Over the years, I've taken on a variety of different responsibilities. I am currently in layout as well. I'm one of the board of directors and one of the corporate officers as well. I fill in on odds and ends as needed with different parts of the company, and I handle a variety of different tasks that generally just need to be taken care of.
First, I got started as a sales rep and quickly started getting more tasks and started asking for more to do because I really enjoyed it. And eventually I started doing stories every so often. And then from there, I slowly worked up to becoming a regular reporter. And I've been doing that for just about two of the years.
John Derby hired me back in 2008. I believe that was 16 years ago. And, at the time I had more than 20 years of newspaper experience. But, I think back and I go, this is not the first time I ever really had a meaningful conversation with a publisher. Where I worked before in like mid-sized newspapers, they were mostly dailies. The publisher was on another floor that you never really got to talk to. So here I was in front of John Derby, face to face. He was doing the hiring. And I guess that comes with a small community paper, but I thought that was kind of neat.
I don't know, it's cool to do something that's kind of important to the community, or really important to the community, contributing to people knowing more about their community and being able to see things that are cool about the community, things that they can be proud of, and all that good stuff.
When I think about the County Times, I think about community. We're the hometown local newspaper. I think about people smiling when one of our reporters shows up, because we have that kind of like, oh, the County Times is here to cover our event. And we get that all the time because we cover a lot of the community events that maybe they don't expect to be covered, or they were maybe previously neglected by some of the larger publications in town. The dailies were covering maybe more important stories. But we really, our mission is all about recognition. If people or groups are doing good things for the community, we want to recognize that, and we want to share with the whole community what these individuals or groups are doing.
The thing I love most about our paper is how it highlights all the wonderful things Merced has to offer to our community. We cover your events to a single person, talking about all the wonderful things that they are doing and working on. And I just think that's really neat and very special.
People should care about the paper because it's a local, honest news, and that's the only way you get honest news around, because it's a small local news. And if you read small local news and you keep up, with your town, then you're gonna see that it's really honest. And not only that, we do aim to try and keep things positive within the community with our news, by delivering positive news to the community.
Our late publisher, John Derby, God bless his soul, he came up with this formula of all local news with the mantra or slogan that we like to call the power of positive press. And I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's just a brilliant phrase because that's exactly what we do.
One of the things that drew me to working for the newspaper was the slogan, which is the power of positive press. And I think that's really important, especially when things can look a little dark in the world around us, that we can look closer and see all the positive things that are happening in our community.
I'm Casey Steed with Radio Merced, Stevens Media Group, and we love the Merced County Times. It's one of our go-to sources for information. They cover the local scene, the events going on in the community. There really is no other local publication I've seen like the Merced County Times, and everybody over there is doing a wonderful job covering the community. Gives us a lot of information to report on our morning news shows and some of our talk shows that we have here on the air, and I really, really appreciate the Merced County Times. If you're not a subscriber, you need to be one.
Memories of John Derby go back a long ways, because I can remember when he first got started, and I was always active in the community back 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and he was always a good part, and his positive press thing, I think, was really important, and I think it shows up even more today compared to our newspapers or other newspapers that existed than it did back at the time when he started. And of course, he was with the Sun Star at one time, and before long, we don't even have a print copy of the Sun Star coming anymore. So it's quite a change. But what I think I enjoyed in later years was his exploits and his writing about his exploits in Mexico, because he seemed to be able to make an adventure out of whatever trip he went on, especially with his sailboat. I remember talking with someone that wasn't sure where they'd sail with John again because that sailboat wasn't the most seaworthy yacht in his opinion.
I have a lot of favorite memories of John Derby. He was a man about the community. He covered a lot of the events, personalized story, a lot of column inches to events that wouldn't otherwise normally be covered. He was irreplaceable. He had a unique personality, and he was very opinionated. He would tell you exactly how he felt, and I really appreciated that in an individual. And he was able to represent both sides of an issue, get that across to people, and not alienate anybody in the process. And it's a very admirable trait.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's really cool that they're having an exhibit about the newspaper. That's kind of mind-blowing to me in a way. But I love museums. I think they're great. I think it's so cool that we have the Courthouse Museum here in Merced that people can just go to and look at all the stuff that's like been very thoughtfully curated, and the amount of work that goes into the exhibits, crazy.
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be an amazing exhibit due to watching John Miller get all the archive information, all the pictures that we've come up with. And I'm really happy that the museum's doing that. I'm sad that John can't be here to see it, because that was something that he was very happy that it was going to happen. And for the people coming out, I hope you enjoy what we've done for the last 60 years.
Enjoy the exhibit. Thank you for coming.